Story time! In the blink of an eye, my routine morning commute took a life-altering turn. As I hurried to work, fate decided to test me. I missed a step, tumbled down the stairs, and my lymphedema leg bore the brunt. I was obviously at first marked by my compression sock. Rushed to the emergency room, my sock was removed, revealing a gaping wound on my leg. But that wasn't the only shock of the day. During the examination, I couldn't shake the persistent pain in my back. X-rays revealed I cracked my spine. Thankfully, the surgeon advised against surgery, prescribing a back brace for 6 weeks. Yep, but the challenges didn't end there. My fall also left my face bruised, a new concern to address. I found a steadfast companion in Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place foundation, specifically the 5W1 bronze shade. It offered color to 24-hour long wear, lightweight, buildable coverage, and a matte finish. With this foundation, I regained my confidence to face the world, embracing my imperfection as part of my unique story. 5W1 bronze shade became part of my story. With my shade and my story, I stride boldly, proving that challenges can be gracefully overcome and imperfections are a part of beauty we carry within. Danko! You were given the life that you have for a reason, and only you can live it.
You're not talking to me.
So only you can live it and make sure that you make the most from it.
Yeah.
And always keep in mind that I know a lot of times we say, oh, I don't have time. It was never your time in the first place, but God's time. The doctors has a final say. So live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of NoChill Vodcast, the only vodcast in Africa where brilliance meets entertainment. Guys, as usual, you know that when we come here, we're coming here with brilliant people who are changing lives on social media. So today's episode, I'm with Mimo. Mimo is a social media influencer. She's a liver transplant survivor. She's an activist. She's a speaker. And she's going to share her story with us today. And please, Bafetu, get a pen and paper, because as you know that we give you a weekly dose of wisdom with a little bit of wow. After this episode, you'll be like, wow, the stories are here to be meant to change your lives and also to educate you guys. 3 E's, don't forget that. But before we dive to Mimo, I want to remind you guys that this episode is sponsored by Easybet, where we make betting easy for everyone. And please, betting should be fun and entertaining, and you should be over 18 years old to do so. Mimo, welcome to NoChill Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, like, Mimo is my favorite person. Everywhere we've been working together with a lot of brands, and to be honest, what I've learned from you is that you're always smiling and you've been through so much. Just tell me, firstly, what gives you that resilience mindset, the mindset of being so strong even after a lot of trials and tribulations?
I think I've said this so many times and it still remains.
Yeah.
Back then when I was sick, when I was on a deathbed,
yes,
the only thing that I wanted was life. That's all. So now every time when something happens, I always look back and I'm like, but I wanted this life. So that gives me that push, like go out there and live.
Let's go a little bit, because obviously your story is all over the internet, newspapers, TVs, a lot of people know. But let's just go a little bit back before 2008, when you were younger and when you lost your mother. I just want to understand how was the beliefs then and then after you even discovered that now you have an issue with your liver. Just tell us that story.
Well, I grew up as the middle child.
Yeah.
I was the friendly one, but the weird one at the same time, because I think my dad expected the worst for me because I was just different.
Yeah.
But I grew up as one thing I carried throughout is strength. I lost my mom at a very young age.
Yes.
I still can't believe years later, I think it's been 24 years now, and it still hurts like it was yesterday. I lost my mom through suicide.
Yeah.
And it was more of, I didn't let myself to hurt because I had siblings. I was like, as much as I'm hurting, they also hurting. Let me just be strong for everyone.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone just became strong. They probably had the same mindset because we never spoke about it.
Yes.
And we carry it so well, like, okay, or maybe our mom prepared it for us spiritually.
Yes, true.
You know? So it was more of, I grew up being the strongest, and even when I was sick, it was hard for me to tell my dad that, dude, I'm sick. You know? I didn't want them to hurt.
You have that thing of not wanting people to be hurt. I mean, I've spent so much time with you. You're always smiling. Whenever you come, the environment changes. What is that? I mean, do you think it's just something that you carry and it's natural, or you just do it intentionally?
I am more of, I believe in smile so much, you'll never know who you're making happy by just smiling. You know, people are going through so much, but when they see you smiling, they're more of, life is not that hard.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just being too hard on myself. You look for the silver lining. For me, it has always been hard for me to show my emotions, like the sad side of emotions.
Yeah.
But when it comes to being happy, I make sure that everybody sees that I'm happy, you know, through my smile.
But who then, if you do that to people, do people, I mean, give that back to you? Or, I mean, I believe that, you know, people who are nice, most of the time they get hurt a lot. And where do you go to when you feel like you are being disappointed, or someone didn't make you feel better?
That's a tough one.
I mean, because even me and you are the same. Everywhere we go, we always want to make people happy, but it doesn't mean that we're happy. It's just that we want to see people happy, you know. So, but when we need to be happy, what do you do?
When I want to be happy.
Yeah, like who makes you happy? If people are not making you happy, what do you get? Disappointment? Do you feel discouraged? What do you do in that case?
I do get disappointed. I think it's a human thing, but I always run to my family more than anything. My family makes me so happy.
Yeah.
I feel like I live for my family.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm going through stuff from work to anything that hurts me, I cry about it. I run to God.
Yes, God.
I find comfort in praying.
Yes.
More than anything. So that's what makes me happy. I do have friends that I am spiritually connected to, where I feel, okay, this is where I feel like I can run to, and they just stay like, let's pray about it.
Yes. I mean, that's very important. You need spiritual partners, guys. People you can go back and say, let's pray. People who can always remind you that, no, you can do this. You know? Because most of the time, people who are nice, it's tough.
You know, you never know who's genuinely there.
Yeah.
But you know that God is there.
God
and
is there. Yeah.
Has never shown like the two-sided.
Yes.
You know, and will always direct you.
So, 2008, you discovered that you have a liver problem. And how was your mental state at that moment when you hear that, okay, I have this problem now? Did you even know about it, firstly?
I was young.
Yeah.
Straight out of high school. So it started actually in 2007.
Okay.
And it was more of me calling my dad because my dad was there for us.
Yeah.
Called him this one afternoon and I said to him, I've got chest pains. Please get me Gaviscon. Because I knew, I saw it on TV that it works.
Yes.
Not that I have tried it and then he forgot. But look how God works.
Yeah.
My dad forgot the Gaviscon. He got home and I said to him, I'm not feeling well. And he saw it. He said, okay, let me take you to the hospital. We rushed to the hospital. We get there and the doctor said, okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions. But when we were there, my body started changing. Now I'm getting clots in my neck. And the doctor is like, this looks serious. Let's go for blood test.
Yeah.
I was hospitalized for a month. I was still in Free State then. They could see there's something wrong with my liver, but they weren't sure. So I was hospitalized a month, got discharged, and got transferred to a specialist in Joburg. I did a liver biopsy, and they found out that there's something wrong with my liver. I have autoimmune hepatitis.
Yes.
Now, he said to me, an autoimmune hepatitis is when your immune system fights your body organs like they don't belong to your body.
Yeah.
Didn't make sense.
Yes.
So he said it's treatable, but it's not curable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm young at that age. I'm like, okay, if I need to take medication only, then I can do that.
Yeah.
Mentally, my family was there and it didn't hit me. It wasn't of, okay, we didn't think it will lead to my liver being critical,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
Then I think if they had mentioned death, I would have been scared.
Yeah.
Because I was young.
Yes.
What do I know? Yeah.
So, okay. So how you mentioned that this how God worked it out. So the reason why your father forgot, it helped you to get to the hospital. Otherwise, something was going to happen there.
Otherwise, I would have taken the Gaviscon. It would have been a temp thing and we left it. I don't think we were going to go as far as taking blood tests.
Yes.
Who just decides on a one morning, let me just go to the hospital and get my blood tested.
Fast forward, your story is out there, Mimo. Fast forward, and there was a moment where you were told that you need a liver.
Now that was hard.
I mean, in South Africa, even it's hard.
It's even hard. So remember, it was just one day, one afternoon, I went to the doctor. I wasn't even feeling sick or anything. I just went there because I had medical aid. I wanted to just do a body check.
Yes.
I get to the hospital and they like, how did you even get here? Because you don't have blood, one. So they did a blood transfusion and they tell me, you can't go. You need to be admitted. Now the doctor says, your liver is critical. You need to go on the wait list.
Yeah.
Already what comes to my mind is the organ list, donor list is long. I am going to wait forever. And I had to be psychologically prepared
Yes.
to go on that list. But one thing I never lost was faith.
Talking about faith, you even named the liver, your liver, Faith. That's the name that you gave it. What is faith, Mimo? We hear this word, you know, and practically, what is it?
Faith is when you have lost everything, including yourself, but you still believe that something will come.
Yeah.
And it came. It came at a critical time. It came when I had lost myself. I had lost hope. I had lost the people around me. I have lost so much. You know when you're just alone, as much as my family were there, but I don't think they understood what I was going through. But I knew that it will come. So hence I say I even have a tattoo with faith.
Yeah.
That says, with faith I had a liver transplant, which gave me what? Life.
Life.
Which was the only thing I wanted.
Yes. And I think, I mean, you went through so many procedures. How many?
Here, I've had over 9 or 10 procedures, and I still say they're all minor compared to what I've been through.
In what sense?
Liver transplant was my biggest.
Oh.
If I was able to survive that, the other procedures are nothing. They just like hurdles. You know when you're running and you just jumping through the hurdles.
Because, I mean, I understand what you mean. Obviously, these procedures are happening because you have a liver, right? Otherwise, it was going to be another story. But, I mean, you've went through other painful ones, which I think you recall mentioning online, the bone marrow procedure. I don't mean to remind you, but I just want you to share the sentiments at that moment.
I still say, even today, the bone marrow testing. So I was in contact with someone with TB. And being an autoimmune patient or a transplant recipient, when you come in contact with someone who is sick, it makes you more sick because your immune system is now suppressed.
Yes.
So I had, what do they call it? It's a different TB, miliary TB.
Miliary TB.
So it was everywhere excluding my liver. So they had to test if it was in my bones as well.
Yes.
So they had to do a bone marrow testing, and that then they don't put you to sleep. So literally,
so you feel it.
They drilling through your bone. And you're not supposed to move because they at your spine. So any movement might cause more problems.
Yeah.
So it was the most painful thing I've ever gone through. Well, I thought that was the most painful until recent when I hurt my back.
Yes. Mimo, okay, you know, what do you think is happening? You know, what do you think is happening in this whole journey of pain? What are the lessons that you are getting? And obviously, if there are other people who are going through the same, what can you say to them that made you to be so strong in resilience and still smile? I was telling you earlier before that, I mean, I was reading your story when I was preparing, and when I look at you, you still smile like nothing happens.
I think people now, as they watching this, from the beginning, they'll just be like, you know, when you mentioned that you were sick, you went through 10 procedures, that, well,
yeah.
It's a spiritual thing. I guess I also had to go through so much for my spiritual awakening. I'm sick physically, but spiritually
you're strong.
And that's where I've been getting my strength. But now, as much as it cannot run out, it's now more of my time to go towards the spiritual side of myself.
Yes. Now, according to understanding, obviously, we're going to get to the spiritual part. Do you have to go through pain for you to be awakened? And I'm asking you because I think you're the right person to ask. Does it have to be that way?
I feel like pain catches our attention. That's the only way. You know, we grew up saying,
yeah.
When your parent wants you to listen,
yes,
they say,
yes.
And what does that mean? You're going to feel pain. That's when you will learn.
Oh, yes, true.
That you need to stop or you need to do
So
something.
it's God's way also to teach us some things.
It's God's way, but God is not a man of hurting you.
So the hurting, it's for you.
Yes, it's for you.
Yes.
To actually stop and listen to God more than anything.
Yeah.
See God. Because God does so much in our lives. But do we ever give him credit?
Do you think your life before, obviously it happens when you were very young. Do you think before you were going to grow to a certain point where if God didn't do what happened to your life, you were going to be ignorant of him and his spiritual things? Obviously, you cannot predict, however, but just looking at your life, the way you were living it.
To be honest, I grew up in a, I don't know, my grandfather was a pastor.
Yeah.
My mom would make sure that we go to church every Sunday.
Yes.
But look at this, when I lost my mom, I still continued to go to church because my grandfather was there. But the minute my grandfather passed, I stopped going to church. I kind of went a different direction. As much as I would still pray, but I moved away from God.
Yes.
But what did my ancestors and God do to bring me closer to themselves?
Yes.
A lot of things happened, you know. I lost it somewhere. I'd like to think I lost it somewhere. It wasn't my fault, but I lost it somewhere. So again, pain had to happen for me to shift back.
That makes sense. But I believe God does things for you and at the same time for the people, right? So this lesson that you have, now you have the lessons, you know, you have learned, you know, that people who might be going through the same journey with you, but they don't have a voice. And I kind of see you as an advocate to raise awareness, especially when it comes to chronic illness. What education or the part of your journey can you maybe share with people and say, guys, these things are like this is what you have to do, and this is what you have to do? I mean, you mentioned that you're starting a podcast where you're going to be giving people a chance to talk about their illness, right? And I feel like that's part of it. Why are you doing that?
A YouTube channel.
And why are you doing that?
I feel like I've told my story so much. I still continue to tell my story. In the beginning, I shared my story to give hope.
Yes.
And now it's no longer about me. I've done so much for myself and raising awareness.
Yes.
But I need people now to share their story for the next. I've shared my story on liver transplant. I've shared my story on lymphedema. I'm still trying to get people to be confident and come out of the shell. My plan is to actually go to schools, get the little ones, you know, because they get teased more, and that's where they start to lose self-confidence.
Yes.
So when people start to share their story on different conditions, that's when more people now are being alerted on different conditions. Because, and even when I approach these people, I say to them, people believe that just because they do not know about it, they think it does not exist. So imagine now talking about someone talking about a headache, the other one is talking about a nosebleed. Now we're touching more lives. It's no longer just Mimo Mokgosi sharing about her liver journey.
Yes.
I need people to also come out as strong as I am.
Yes.
It's not easy.
It's not easy, and I'm asking myself as you're talking, or how did you gain that confidence? Obviously, now you know it was not easy, but now you have this confidence to even go out. Now you have built even a community. You have over 600,000 followers on Instagram, over 300,000 on TikTok. On Twitter, you have over 100,000 people. So there's a community now, and you have that confidence to even talk about yourself and your situation. Where does the confidence come from?
It comes from the negative comments. It comes from the negative comments from social media that I still need to teach people. As much as I'm teaching, there are still people who put negative comments, you know. They still don't know. Ignorant.
So you're taking that negativity, you're turning it into positivity. That also requires a very mental, because others will leave. I mean, others would have, I mean, I'm speaking on behalf of people with the same, or maybe even other things which are worse, but they don't even want to be seen. They're there in their little corner there. They don't want to be seen because they are scared to hear a negative thing. But you were brave enough to say, I'm going to go there, and I'm going to just look for these negativities and turn them into something. It's hard.
Imagine using a negative comment and turning yourself into a teacher.
It's powerful and extraordinary. However, what mindset, what convictions do you have? I'm asking this for someone who could be watching with the same. Where do you start? Because it's not easy.
Because you look at it in a way that if you're going to go back and forth with a negative person, you also go into their level instead of learning anything. Now you're becoming like the very same person. And like now when you're teaching this very same person, the next person who's going to make a negative comment, there'll be someone else who's now correcting the very same person. It won't be me. That no, she actually has lymphedema. Lymphedema does this. It's either you get it on your leg or you get it on your arm. People are now starting to have interest in the condition. So that person now feels, hey son, I shouldn't have said that. Removes the comment.
So you think most of the people are actually saying things because they lack understanding or knowledge about that?
Sometimes it's a personality thing. People are mean in general. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Sometimes it's not about ignorance. It's about people being insecure. And people are filled with anger. And people who have anger, they want to recruit a negative community, you know, where they always attacking, like I'm going to attack you, oh, this one doesn't. And you know how people like that, when you kill them with silence, they don't want that.
They want you to say something.
They want you to say something.
Do you say something?
One thing about me, I've learned, I used to be a slap back. And then I realized that it's not worth it. One, brands are watching. Two, people who look up to me are watching. So rather, it's either I say nothing at all or I say something that's going, if it's not going to teach anybody, don't put it on social media.
Yeah, your reputation.
Yes.
I feel like this is your gift. And this might sound wrong, but I feel like whatever that you went through, you had to go through it so that a lot of people, like now you're talking about educating. How many people in South Africa who are talking about chronic illness vocally, so on their social media? I mean, I know you. I don't know about anyone. So I kind of feel like this is the journey that you've been destined to follow, and more than just looking at what happened, I feel like a lot of people are going to learn from you. But there's one thing that always makes me ask myself, when I look at you, I look at you and I be like, why is she's like, these are things that are not normal, Mimo. Like, to be honest, to talk about them in South Africa, where the conditioning of the mindset is like that. You come out and you're building community now. What do you think those people are following you for? Because most of them, they don't have the conditions. What is it for?
They don't have the condition, and you don't have to have the same condition. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
And if it's not you, it can be a family member.
Do you think there's some connections, Nyana?
There is definitely a connection, because I've had people who come up to me and say, you've helped my cousin who was actually going through so much, going through depression, but when I showed her your story, they don't even know me personally, but through my story, I was able to pick someone up and say, go out there and live.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to get to, you know? You may be sick, but don't be sick of life. Don't be sick of living. Go out there and live. And like you said, it's a gift.
Yeah.
You find your gift, it leads you to your purpose.
Yes.
What's your purpose in life?
Yes. That's true. Can you please share with me, there was a time where you partnered or collaborated with the Department of Health. and I can see even through the expression that that was the best experience for you in a way, because but obviously, what did you learn? I want to understand, what did you learn out of it? And do you think there was something that was supposed to be done in a maybe certain manner? Or what did you learn? What were the lessons?
The lessons was, don't stop if you know your purpose.
Yes.
And I'm saying this because when I started working with the department, I remember I was excited, straight out of hospital, imagine, liver transplant, and I had this idea of raising awareness.
Yes.
Because for the first time, I didn't know about autoimmune hepatitis, so I made research, and I said, I went to the Minister of Health.
Yes.
Back then, yes.
Yeah.
And I remember I was sending a lot of emails saying, telling my story, and I said, in other countries, there are a day where we only focus on raising, like AIDS Day.
Yes.
And so on the 28th of July, it's Hepatitis Day.
Is it?
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
I didn't know.
You didn't know, you see? So I challenged the minister, and he was like, okay, I love your idea. Got a response from him. And we started now doing campaigns every year where I would go to different provinces and share my story. And now this is the reason why I started this whole thing. I said it's easy coming from a doctor, but when it comes from a patient or someone who has been there, then you're catching more attention to the awareness.
Yes.
You know, because now people are seeing someone who has actually gone through it. Okay, a few years down the line, now they were telling me about the stigma. They were like, okay, you will go with us with different provinces, but we will tell your story for stigma reasons.
What stigma? What is that?
It's like how people are going to treat me now that, you know how
so they're trying to,
back then when you had like HIV or AIDS, it was more of so they thought maybe, and I was like, no,
it's fine.
This is my story.
Yes.
I want to tell it. And so that's when I said, I don't want to do it anymore. If I'm not telling my story, then I don't want to do it. And you know, when I tell you that was the last awareness that the government did.
But the government should support this kind of things, because the government is for the people, and people need to know the reality. Why then now, if you are volunteering that this is what I want to do, why do they not support? I mean, this is another thing, and it's political. I don't want to touch politics.
Yeah.
But what lessons did you learn there? You said that do it yourself.
Yeah. I said I have the platform. I always had the platform. I just needed the government to make it a national thing.
Yes.
You know, it's one thing when you're sharing, especially when it comes to health, and I didn't want to have like the misinformation.
Yes.
So, but I said to myself, and maybe then I had like less than 100K followers, you know, on Instagram.
Yeah.
But look at the community that I've built.
Yes.
And now people know about hepatitis autoimmune.
The lesson, guys, do it alone. Whoever that wants to support will join you, and when they want to support you, they should not change what you've been doing. They leverage it. They add on top of what you're already doing.
They'll get you on the way. It's your race.
Yes. How do you then balance between sharing your story and also balancing personal things? You know, because sometimes you know, you're dealing with people online, so some they might ask some things, and how do you then balance between you, the person who wants to raise awareness, and also your personal things, which, you know, because some people will ask, who are you dating? Oh, this and this and that. How do you balance that?
Learning not to overshare. It's a skill. I think it's a skill.
It is.
Because as much as I'm out there, I'm not there. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
I'm there to not to give myself to people. At the end of the day, I'm teaching. I mustn't forget. So my personal life is my personal life. Who I am dating has nothing to teach the next person.
Yeah.
Has nothing to teach the next person. So what are people going to learn from what I post? It will literally direct you to what to post and what not to post. There are some things that I put out there and I feel like, here I'm oversharing. Let me just go back a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, that's how people should know you. They shouldn't know you in and out.
No.
Be transparent, but not in everything.
No, I hear you. I think I've been doing that also. You only know what I want you guys to know.
To know, yeah.
That's enough. When it comes to organ donations, with you obviously God, He showed up, But how hard is it in our community?
It's still hard. Like I said, the wait list is long. I remember back then when I was making research, the kidney is longer. You have 2 kidneys, but there've been people there who've been waiting so long. I think there's misinformation on organ donation.
Yes, and I want you to touch on that.
A lot of people are willing to donate if they're getting something back.
Also, it's like selling.
Yeah.
So how does it have to be? What is the normal, and is it a kindness thing to donate? What can you teach me?
I mean, you as a human, you can save 8 lives.
8
lives. So you're saving 8 people. Can either give away your pancreas, your heart.
Even my heart.
Yeah, but this only happens when you have passed on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not when you're alive. But you can, there are organs that you can share while you're still alive.
Okay.
You can live with your one kidney and give it to the next.
Yes.
Whereas the other person's both kidneys have failed. With the liver now, what they are doing is that you can have half your liver to another person and then it grows as a whole.
Is it?
Or it regenerates.
Wow. I didn't know that. So you were saying 8. Can you count those things that...
Okay, so it's 8. I might miss the others. So it's your heart, your 2 kidneys. So it's heart, kidney, your eyes as well. You can donate like your cornea, if I'm not mistaken. Your liver, your what are the other organs that are your lungs? What are the others? But I know it's 8 lives. Yeah, it's 8 organs. Yeah.
I should check on that.
Yeah.
I should check on that. So, but okay, what is the misinformation like?
The misinformation, again, it happens when it comes to culture.
Yeah.
Our people believes that they do not want to bury their people without other parts missing. Like you can't be an ancestor with missing parts.
Yeah.
And in my knowledge, when a person dies, your soul goes up.
Yes. So the body.
So the body will just be eaten, you know, by worms, and so you don't need your organs when you pass. And other people believe that when you are involved in a car accident, the doctors won't do much to save you. No, you are a priority. They'll do everything they can to save you. Yes. So you only when you have gone completely, but your organs are still live, and they have like a certain time period as well before they shut, for them to be passed on to the next.
Now, you came to social media before, obviously it was just Mimo. How did social media change the way you move now? Especially, what was the advantage that you found when social media came before it, comparing before and then after?
You know, the best thing about social media, you don't have to wait like other production to get an invite.
Yes.
When you want to share something, you can share it immediately. And people think it's all about likes.
Yes.
Social media is not about likes. When you put something out there, even when one person sees it, it's spread. Word of mouth.
Yes.
Someone out there is going to know about it.
Whether they like it or
not. That's why I say it's not about likes. Hence we have, you know, when you look at your insights, there's likes, there's shares, and then there's reaches. How many people have you reached?
Yes.
That's all that matters.
So that's what you look at.
You look at reaches. Yes, they've scrolled, but they saw it.
They saw it.
Yeah.
The impression.
Yes.
So, you started from Twitter, I believe. Twitter, you were very, very vocal. There was a point where you even wrote everything. You even posted the picture before and after of the whole procedure thing, and boom, what did you take out of that? The first time, what was this reactions of the people? What do you still remember? And as something that made you know that social media can become a tool?
Twitter is a different platform on its own.
Yeah.
And people who will like you for a day, the next day they don't.
That's Twitter.
That's Twitter for you.
So there's no...
The very same people who are willing to defend you today can attack you the next day. You must always see how people's content are being brought to Twitter. We like them on other platforms. The minute it goes on Twitter, people are different. The very same people who liked that video or that picture that you posted on other platforms are attacking you on the other platform, on Twitter.
Why? What is it the algorithm, the mindset? I mean, if it's the same people, what is it because of the stigma?
And remember I said I used to be a slapback person.
Yes.
And I was a slapback person on Twitter because everyone was doing that. Like, I'm defending myself. But sometimes when you defend yourself, you're actually wasting your time. When people have made up their mind, you can say one thing, they do not care whether it's right or it's wrong. And I'm saying this because there was a time where I raised a question on Twitter and I was attacked. There was nothing wrong with that question.
What was the question?
I don't want to go back there. I do not want to go back there.
You think they're going to come back
Yeah,
again?
they're going to come back again and attack. I'm no longer on Twitter.
Yeah.
And Twitter is toxic. And let them come for me for this one.
But it's true. I mean, who doesn't know?
Twitter is toxic.
But it's fine, man. I mean, it's just how it is. Maybe, let's say it's the algorithm, rather. But there's some elements of positivity, and which you also have experienced.
Yes.
There was a point in 2022 where Lamis...
Yes, they donated.
Yeah, can you tell us about that story?
So I have a friend, Poloso, who actually made a post. I needed a lymphatic system. And she just posted there for people to donate, and within 2 days people had donated to get the lymphatic system machine, and Lamisi paid the balance that we needed.
How much was it?
The machine back then was 15K, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much we made and how much Lamisi contributed, but she paid up the balance, and that machine came in very handy. That's why I say Twitter has the good place and the bad place, but I will forever be grateful for the side that they showed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the noisy one is the negativity, right?
Because that's how now they have made, you know, when people say, yo, did you see what's going on Twitter?
No.
You just know, no.
Oh.
I'm just asking. Then you know that someone is being...
Yeah. Is that platform where you cancel people and all
Yes, they cancel people, they cancel culture, but they have their faves.
Yeah.
But, like I said, you can be a fave today and tomorrow something else.
Tomorrow you've been something else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's now focus on the collaboration and your activism. You obviously, you want to be an activist in this area of critical illness. You want to spread the awareness. What sort of collaborations are you thinking right now in your mind that you think they will make your gift to be a success?
Now that I have to mention this, now there'll be pressure. You know that the pressure is
I feel like it has to be. Pressure it's needed. And that's why I asked you deliberately, because I've been one of the people that have been telling you, do this, do this, do this. And I can see that it's you.
Yeah.
You understand? Just that obviously there's so many things that we need to consider. And fear, you spoke about fear, right? What is making you scared, and what do you think you need to make this thing a success?
I think since the beginning, remember I always said people, protecting people. I'm more of, I do not want to fail people. That's my biggest fear.
Yeah.
I have so much planned. I think I've done so much for myself. It's time to give back to the community, you know. Like, I think we had this conversation where we go to schools, we go to the less fortunate, and we actually teach them.
Yes.
But now we teach them in a way that we teach about social media at the same time how we made it.
Yes. True.
For the next person to do the same. So my plan now,
say it, Mimo.
and I still need to approach brands or a brand. I want to help matriculants at the end of the year who cannot go to their matric dance because of transport.
Yes.
You know, going to your matric dance because that mama next door is able to take you, but at the same time they still they can't go and get you. Now you must take, and there are no taxis at the time. So I want to volunteer and actually either I'm happy to find car brand to sponsor the car.
The cars.
The cars on that day, and get maybe a few makeup artists, someone who's willing to lend dresses and shoes, make it special
for them.
I mean, it happens once.
It's just one day.
I'm even willing to be the driver for the day. You know how much I love driving, you know? To be the driver, do drop off and come back and collect.
So you say you need people in this, you need brands to support that. And obviously, to be honest, I see it as a very good initiative, you know. Just that sometimes we have bigger dreams and visions, but we're limited to resources, you know. So, yeah, it will happen.
But you know where it starts? It starts with me knocking on doors.
Yeah.
And what do I have to lose?
There's nothing. It will happen. It will happen, I believe. But don't be fearful.
It's scary in a way that it's going to hurt me if I don't make it happen. Because at the end of the day, it's not about me.
So you feel like you disappointed that next person that you could have helped?
Yeah.
But I mean, you did your best than not doing anything.
Yeah.
You know. So there's a lot. Obviously, you know, me and you, we've been talking about going to schools, and we need people, and it's going to happen. Even if there are no brands, we will try our best to make it happen. Because one thing that I've noticed in South Africa, brands, they always go for what is trending. If you are trending right now, they want to come to you because they want to get that attention. But things like this that don't trend, things like this that, it's only few brands that will like, okay, let's participate. But it's not all of them, because they're looking at return on investment. What is it that we're going to get out of this? Sometimes it's not even about money, guys. Sometimes it's all about, you're a brand that cares about people. But they are out there, we just have to search for them.
But that's where we come in. Remember, look at my story. My story is not a trend.
Yeah.
But it's always there.
It's there.
People don't forget it. But something that trends,
it vanishes with time.
It fades away. It trends for a couple of days and we move on to the next trend. But when there's a story behind it, where there's a motive, it lasts forever. Imagine a brand helping you. It's always going to be there. Oh, that's the brand that helped.
Yes.
You know?
It's, Mimo,
a story is unforgettable.
You know, we've been talking about brands, you know. The thing, we are brands ourselves. So let's be those brands that we are looking for.
Yes.
You understand? God will open doors. I know. You know, even this podcast is not about me. You know, it's not for my gains. It's for the people to learn through people's stories, you know. I'm becoming that brand that it's not gaining anything but giving.
Yeah.
You understand? Your spiritual life is, I'll say you are awakened. I've spent so much time with you, you know.
Yeah.
Even when we go out for road trips, we chill, and you know, sometimes as we're there drinking, but you are restricted to a lot of things. I mean, not just drinking, but a lot of things. Even the environment, you feel the environment, and tell me about your spiritual life. In just how is it? How did it come about, and what are the conditions? Obviously, things that you can talk about, and the importance of, or the role which is playing in your life right now, being spiritually awakened.
One thing I will tell you, it's not an easy journey.
Yeah.
And you know, more than anything, and I still go back and ask, God, how do you want me in this industry when I'm failing so much when it comes to energies?
Yeah.
More than anything, I'm an empath.
Yeah.
And I pick up energy like that. The minute I walk into a room, I pick up energies.
It's been something that I've been witnessing, and I'm like, oh my God.
You see? But you learn to contain yourself. And now you walk into a place and you say, God, please, may I come across people with good intentions.
Yeah.
Please protect me from anything that's not mine. Please protect me from people who come with other intentions that are not good.
Yeah.
Have that protection around me. I'm so high on prayer.
Yeah.
I'd get to a place, and then when I feel otherwise, I go to the toilet and just pray.
Pray, yeah.
I just pray. So it's not easy, because at the same time, you want to protect yourself and not be out there, and because not everyone is from I come in there to win or to share. Some people want to win but step on you.
Yes. And it's happening a lot, especially in the industry where
you know,
where you amongst influencers, you know, even brands, you know, brands, trust me, brands are all about their bag. They don't care about you as an individual, to be honest. It's just few, let's be honest. They just want your attention, what you have, your reach, your numbers. Okay, cool, Mimo. And obviously, do you feel that?
I've been so fortunate to work with brands that align with my energy, and you know.
Yes.
And again, I'm that one. I don't know if I'm an influence.
Let's talk about that. Because I mean, we're saying influencer because it's very relatable.
Because you influence people, but.
You know why you say you don't want to be called that, and I also feel the same, because the stigma.
Yes.
The stigma that goes with the word influencer, you know, people have turned it into wrong. It's even wrong.
Yeah.
You know, just because it's NoChill having a lot of followers, now I'm an influencer. I've been saying this. It's more than that. We look at the impact. You know, we look at the decisions people take, not because you told them so.
Yeah.
You know, and there's also a negative influence and there's a good influence.
Yes.
So now, if we just say you're an influencer,
you see, you're not sure where you are lying.
You understand?
And I say this because as an influencer, you also need to have your boundaries. You can't go to every party you get invited to.
Beg.
And you need to use that in life in general.
Yeah. You can't be everywhere.
Exactly. So when brands approach you, you need to ask yourself, does it align with my brand? First of all, not everything is about money. Yes, we want money.
We want to eat.
The bills are looking at you like, hey. But now imagine, people know my story. And I get approached by an alcohol brand.
They will be so crazy. Yo. Like,
But you said brands go for numbers. So they're not crazy for approaching me.
but in your case, it's crazy. Ignorant.
Is it?
What they want you to do.
But being human as well, you look at, oh, there's money there. I can actually...
It's a temptation, actually, that one.
That's where you lose it. That's why I don't like calling myself an influencer.
You're a brand.
I'm a brand.
A brand has things that it's aligned to.
Yes.
And also, being called an influencer, it's not a good thing.
Like you said, we don't know whether we're talking about the good or the bad influencer that you have on people.
It's a good thing, just that it's been misused. Today you find a lady, to be honest, I'm not trying to attack anyone, who's just showing her body there. She has got over 200,000 followers. And automatically we say she's an influencer.
So when we talk about influencers now, people also now take it to that. They don't know where to categorize you.
But Mimo, they will swallow us alive, these people, you know. Let's call them influencer for the sake of
we are
the title.
influencers.
But we now growing into brands, and you've worked with so many brands, Mimo. And you are grateful, right?
Very grateful. Working with brands, no matter how small or big, paid a contribution to my growth. More than anything, it changed the way I behave. Because now I always say, you know, what you do in the dark will show in light.
Yeah.
I've learned I'm not two-faced.
Yeah.
Because you'll be surprised you're talking to someone only to find that it's the CEO of the brand that you've always been wanting to work with. Be positive.
Yes.
Make it a point that you do not bash other brands. Because you in a race, ne?
Yeah.
You're in a race and you'll never know when you pass ways with the very same brand that you've been bashing.
So, what are the lessons that you've, obviously that is number one, learn to be humble, if I have to, to put it in summary. Other lessons out of working with brands. At first, tell me about that experience where the brands approached you, they're asking for your social media rate, what. And
imagine the excitement, like, yo, I got a DM from a certain big brand. And now first, when I started, I didn't even have, I don't know what a rate card is. I'm like, they're asking for a rate card. Can't I'm supposed to charge? Because remember, when I went and became who I am today, I had no intentions to make money.
Yes. That's why I'm asking this, because now money is coming.
Now money is coming in, so it's always a surprise. You want to pay me for being me?
And how nice, Mimo.
I know.
It's a flexible,
and it feels good. You actually, and I'm using that as a token of appreciation. We see what you've gone through. We see what you're doing. You bring in changes into people's lives.
Yeah.
Now, do the same with our brand.
Yes. That's how you see it.
You know? And another thing, put effort.
Hey, that one, I've learned it from you. Guys, if you want to know someone who will work extra miles, she will be the first to submit. if they want the insights, the performance, you'll be the first, and she'll always make you feel bad. Like, dude, you know. And I've learned that from you, and I'm grateful because it always makes those brands to keep on coming back because you are so easy to work with. Where did you get that? Is it just you? Is that how you are?
If you give a brand who you are at first and what you're capable of, they'll trust you. And once you build trust with a brand, what do? They always want to work with you.
Guys, are you listening? It's a formula. If you see Mimo working with one brand for so many years, this is the formula.
I build trust. I build trust more than anything. That's why I say, if you're given one opportunity, go all out.
Be diligent.
Show them who you are. You'll be surprised what will follow. Now you're opening more doors to other brands, not that just one.
How many brands have you worked with?
You're a lot. I've lost count now. I've lost count, and I'm hoping I work with more this year. I've lost count, and it's beautiful, man. It is beautiful. You work with the most amazing people, and like you said, it's all about they know, and I'm very punctual.
Yo.
When it comes to time.
Even today, I found Mimo here as a host.
You know.
And I knew well you were going to be here.
You
I know you.
Me. I'm very punctual. So when a brand says, okay, let's work, this is your expected time to deliver. Mimo within few days.
And let's talk about this because there's so many people who are saying in South Africa there are no opportunities. But when they get that opportunity, they misuse it. There will be never another one. And you are the living example. Like brands do you even go to brands? I mean, maybe, but how often? Many brands keeps coming to you because of diligence. You take yourself serious. Let's talk about taking yourself serious more than crying about opportunities. To be honest, I'm grateful. And I don't want to just talk about me, it's about you. But I've seen it in my life that taking yourself serious can take you far.
Way too far. Further than you were expecting. You know, I look at myself. I used to knock on a lot of doors.
Sending emails.
Yeah, sending emails, sending DMs. And I still do. I've got brands I've DM'd where they'll say, send us your proposal on an email, and I don't get a response, but that does not discourage me. And I don't stop. I still go. I know there's a day where
they will see.
They'll give me a chance.
Yeah.
Let's see what she can do, because shame, this girl has been. Let's see. And I'll show them why I've been knocking on their doors, you know?
You've been doing this branding thing and influencing, let's use the word, let's borrow it for a moment so that it can be relevant. You've been an influencer and at the same time working, you know. Number one, why? Why do you still work? I'm asking you for people. Remember, I work too. Me and you still work. But and I want you to tell me, why do you work?
And honestly, it's not easy working 8 to 5. And then with me, I work 8 to 5. I go home and I work 24/7. Because being an influencer is literally working 24/7.
Yeah.
Even when you're sleeping, you're working, because now that's where your ideas come. And now when you wake up, you need to put them to life. But you have 8 hours of work, of other work. And I'm still working because, you know, brands don't come every month.
Yeah.
You need something that's stable, that you can rely on and say, I have a salary. So I came across a reel that says, have your standard job, have a side hustle. For now, my influencing content creation is my side hustle. Until that one becomes a real job, where I know every month a certain amount will come in. That's when I'll feel, okay, it's safe.
You know why I'm asking, Mimo? And that this question is deliberate. I'm asking because there's this misconception about being an influencer, especially in our country, whereby if you have 1 million followers, they think that
You have money.
You have 1 million.
Yo, I wish I could convert my followers to money. I'd be rich.
You'll be a millionaire by now.
Exactly.
And there's lies. I even wrote in this book to change people, because kids right now, they look at you, they're like, wow, I want to be like Mimo.
I know with my niece looks at me and says, I want to be an influencer. And I'm like, go to school. Go to school.
I mean, for an advice that's coming from someone who's well known.
You know, but it doesn't work for everyone. Let's be honest. That's what we're missing. It's like, you know, you wake up tomorrow and you're like, I see NoChill is doing well with the podcast. Let me go and be a podcaster.
Yeah.
And then it slaps you in the face. First of all, you're not even getting viewers. You're stuck on one place.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what NoChill is doing. Working hard, working smart.
Misconception about guys. You see us with a lot of followers. I have a million followers, a lot of followers, but I still have my 9 to 5. You know why? You know why? You want to know why? I'll tell you, because reality is being an influencer alone without any business. If you still gotta rely to brands coming to you, trust me, don't let anyone lie to you. They will show you all these things and they say they bought because they're influencers. It's lies.
They are doing something on the side.
There has to be something or lies. I mean, if there's something, why can't they show it? I mean,
coming to that, you know that not everyone shares like you do.
I don't. You know, I have businesses, but I mean, for the sake of influencing. I mean, if you're going to say you are an influence, say, guys, me now, don't just look at my life. This is what I'm doing aside. You understand? That's the real impact than just showing results. And I'm not saying they should not. I'm not trying to go for people. I'm just saying that because now we've got kids, you know, Mimo, for me, I'm always thinking about the ones who are coming. And I've already seen right now that what this Instagram life is doing to the young ones. Have you seen this? A girl can't just go, a normal girl can't just go to a restaurant and eat peacefully without trying to pose to show that I'm eating meat with potatoes. You know, it's that life that we're portraying.
If you don't have a picture, it didn't happen.
You see, there's even a saying. But can people know the truth that it's not how it seems to be most of the time, majority of the time, 95% of the time?
People need to take it like a dream. You have a dream, and then there's reality.
Yeah, we see dreams on social media.
Yeah.
So we hide realities.
You know, and there's no process. No one is posting the process. What's happening in between? What's happening? Nobody's posting how we are so desperate and, you know, sending mails and DMing, you know, but they only see us working.
When they see you driving a car, they're like, wow.
But
you don't know, Ray.
Yo.
You loaned that car, you know, for that moment.
I'm still working hard. Yo, you know. But yeah.
No, but I mean, this platform is just to check out the truth. I mean, there are other people who are doing well, trust me, because of social media. But I've been in this industry for too long, man. You can't just be a millionaire without selling anything. By just being an influencer because you have followers. Nah.
That's why you need to have multiple.
Yes,
things,
investments,
you know?
assets aside.
Yeah.
Alone, social media.
No. This is why I'm not leaving my 8 to 5.
You know, and it's good because you don't have stress of bills. You know, even if no brand comes, you're still gonna pay for your thing.
From your salary. Because it doesn't come, I wish, well, some people have made it so far to a point that it has now become their job.
Yeah.
They've got like long-term contract with
deals.
brands where it just pays you like your normal job.
I want that.
We all do.
I want that. I want to do this. This is so nice.
I love it.
To learn from people, to share stories, to change people's lives. I want this. I'm not meant for 9 to 5. I'm doing it because I want to balance, you know. But God, hear me. You've been rebranding, man. There's an element of Mimo a traveler, Mimo a makeup what now, you know, fashion what. You know, you've been doing that, and you love cars. You know? You even bought a new car. Congrats!
Thank you.
I was so happy. I was so happy when you showed me. I was like, oh my God, look, Mimo is inspiring me now. You know?
Yeah, I love cars. I think it's not about me rebranding.
Yeah.
Remember when I said from a deathbed, I just wanted life.
So you are living.
Mimo is living.
You are living it very well, very structured. I love
Mimo
it.
is living. That's why I just want to travel. I wanna, you know, be out there and shop working more. Yeah.
You know how nice, Mimo, we traveled and we're so happy when we were traveling.
We are. Oh, we are.
Because now this turned into just a conversation of two people. Sorry, but we're still there. We're learning from. I mean, this is what you guys should actually learn from. These are real, authentic conversations which can change your lives if you listen with that willingness to learn. You know, you're traveling, and now I'm sure you're DMing a lot of traveling brands. Say, hey, look at me, I've got numbers.
Please accommodate me. I can drive myself there, but please accommodate me.
Yeah, but when did the desire of traveling and start loving driving develop? Do you think you always had it, just that it was just too hidden?
It has always been there at the back of my mind.
Oh.
Now I'm actioning it. You know, everything starts with a thought.
Yes. Oh.
It started with a thought, and have you seen how beautiful our country is?
Not yet.
Like
when will I see it? If every time when I'm off, I'm here. I'm here in front of this camera.
But your life is no longer your life.
Mimo. It's nice. It's nice. You know, I only sleep 3 hours in my life. I'm writing my second book. Why are you writing your second book? You just have published your first. It's not me. If it was me, I would sleep 8 hours. But there's that thing. I think God is pushing me. Do this, do this, do this. For what? I don't know. You understand? And it's nice because I feel that I'm doing my purpose. This is my purpose.
More than anything,
it's the
remember
purpose.
your purpose. Why you were brought to live.
Do you think you're doing a purpose so far?
Definitely. Without a doubt.
What makes you say that with confidence?
Every time I go through something, I survive for a reason. I was saved to inspire. I was saved to give hope. You know?
Yeah.
So surviving on its own is a way of God saying,
is it the way of God saying that you are doing well, or because remember you mentioned that God will do something so that you do something. So in the process, do you think you are at your purpose or you are getting to it?
I won't say I'm there.
Yeah.
Because there's still things that I need to do.
Yeah.
You know? And it's so hard to find your purpose in life if you are...
You're not doing anything.
If you don't, you need to pray for spiritual ears so that you are able to listen to God when He guides you.
That's the most difficult part, because people, they wanna hear the voice. Oh, I'm the God.
And it doesn't come like that.
So how does God talks to people, Mimo, according to your own understanding, obviously?
Unfortunately, that one is on you and God.
No, He talks to people differently.
He talks to people differently.
Yeah. In your experience,
you know when God is talking to you. So you know.
You just know.
Yeah, you know. You'll know. And God has probably been talking to all of us, but we just don't listen.
Don't listen or don't know?
You don't know and you don't listen.
Because, I mean, you know what I'm saying? The spirituality is the more... I feel like this is how I look at it. Everything starts from the spirit and manifests in our lives. So imagine without knowing your spirituality, there's just going to be a lot of things being created and you're just going to be shocked about your life and so what is happening. So spirituality is the primary source of what you want to see in your life, and we need to know it. You understand? So I feel like spirituality is number one thing that we must focus on.
Yes.
But people are not. They're only focusing on their problems.
Put God first in everything that you do. And you know why I'm saying you know. People will say, it's a coincidence. Oh, it's my instinct.
Yeah.
That's God. No. You know when you want to drive out, something happens that delays you.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you need to go get a charger. You went out to the car.
Yeah.
Now, hey man, I forgot my charger. You go back inside, get your charger. Hey man, let me drink water. Like all of a sudden, there's small things that are disturbing you.
Yeah.
And then eventually you leave the house. You drive past an accident.
And you're just going to say, it's a coincidence. You don't even think
that was God protecting you. Listen to God.
So pay attention to every small details.
Anything small.
Mimo, you are so beautiful. Very beautiful. Even women can even tell you, she said, she has so nice. I mean, I'm sure even men sees that, you know. How are men troubling you?
Yo.
And this question, I'm sure it's not right, but I know I'm saying troubling you because you don't like to be troubled that much.
I don't
because you're a spiritual being and you know exactly.
I don't like being troubled. That's why I don't entertain my DMs. I'm not saying I'm ignoring my DMs, no. I don't entertain my DMs. Yes, I have a special somebody.
Oh wow, you didn't tell me. I was supposed to be the first to know. Mimo.
You don't know this.
You told me when.
I told you.
When?
I told you.
You know how you told me? You're like, I just fell in my boyfriend.
That was me telling you.
I was like, hey, wow, okay, let's keep quiet. That's fine, Mimo. It's okay. But I knew I was gonna find a day. Obviously, we don't talk much like on the phone, like about things, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been long. I think it's been like almost 6 months now, if I'm not making a mistake.
4 months.
How is it? Are you happy?
He still makes me feel.
Please don't call me and say cut that part.
Please remove that part.
I did a podcast with the first time. We didn't publish it because he kept saying like, hey, you remember I told you I have someone.
No, there's someone new, so don't mention that. Don't mention that.
They dumped me. So delete it. I was like, I mean, we already edited. So this one you're sure?
This one, he's amazing. And you know how I know he's amazing.
Yeah.
He still makes me feel the same way I felt when I first said to him, I want to do this.
Wow. I'm happy when you are happy. I'm happy when you are happy, trust me, because there's been a problem in your life. That's the Njolo. So,
not anymore. I don't have no problem.
Does it accept the way you are and the things that you do? Like, is it all good? Would you say it's perfect? This is what you've been praying for?
This is what I've been and I am praying for.
Even today?
Even today. Someone who accepts me for who I am. Someone who knows that when Mimo says she's sick, she's sick. It's not, I've got a headache, I'm sick.
Yeah.
You know, I need attention, medical attention, and he knows what to do. I found someone who knows that I am spiritually gifted, which is most important.
That's very important.
Someone who also prays.
When you find a man that prays.
Yes.
In South Africa.
Someone who knows God.
Yo,
someone who knows God.
You are blessed. I know. I'm telling you this because I know I'm that one. I'm that person to my woman.
Yeah.
You know, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
Trust
because
me.
I want you to love me, but I want you to love God.
Are you listening, Mr. Pitin? Yeah.
So yeah, he doesn't make me feel ashamed of anything. I can say, baby, at this time I need to pray. He respects that.
Yeah.
He knows at a certain time, I was prayer session, you know.
That's good. Mimo, people who are watching, you know, they love you. Some of them, they are going through what you went through. What advice do you have, especially for those people who have the same conditions and, you know, and they're just there because they feel like there's no hope for us? What word of encouragement can you just tell them? Looking at that camera there, straight, talking to them like you're talking to that person, your younger self back then when you were 18, 10.
You were given the life that you have for a reason, and only you can live it.
You're not talking to me. Tell them.
So only you can live it, and make sure that you make the most from it.
Yeah.
And always keep in mind that I know a lot of times we say, I don't have time. It was never your time in the first place, but God's time. So anything that you want to do, go out there. You have what it takes. You have nothing to lose. But make sure that you do not lose yourself. Or are you trying to run after something? Then it's not meant for you.
Regardless of your condition.
Yes. Don't have any limitations. The doctors can say one thing, but God has a final say. So live.
Wow. my part, the final part of this podcast is just little. Please just give us 2 minutes. I want to get to know something from Mimo. Entertainment part. I'm going to ask you Very random question, but it's not silly. It's just a nice question.
Okay.
If you could have a dinner with any three historical figures, people who maybe are dead or alive, it doesn't matter. Who would they be?
Yo, this is hard. This is hard because even when I'm asked who's your favorite person, I find it so hard to answer because why am I looking?
No, I mean,
Okay,
anyone.
there's this gentleman, I forgot his name. He doesn't have limbs. He's a motivational speaker.
Oh yes, I think I know him.
Oh, I love him so much.
Is it why?
Is how he lives.
Yeah.
Like I said, he lives without limitations. Nothing is stopping him. And he's living better than someone with limbs. Because we've got our limbs, but we're still not living.
Yeah.
We hold ourselves back. So he'd be the one man I go to dinner and look him in the eye and say, how do you do it?
How many tattoos do you have?
I miscount.
What?
I lost count.
And why the love of tattoos? Maybe, sorry guys.
My tattoos tell a story.
All of them.
Something needs to happen. Have you seen the recent one, Has Days? Because I fell down these days and I've got a story to tell.
Oh, so you did a stairs tattoo because you fell from the stairs.
Yeah. And how I fell, I almost lost the ability to walk. So it has a clock as well there. So it stays going to clocks. It wasn't my time.
Oh, your story keeps on adding. So
I know.
you lost count.
I've lost count.
But which one is your favorite one?
A letter to my donor.
What does it say?
Thank you.
And you don't know them?
I don't know him. But it's just to say, I always wanted to write a thank you note to my organ donor, but carry it with me everywhere. And you know a paper, you lose a paper.
Yes.
So I said, let me put it on myself.
Wow, that's a beautiful story. The lion one, the eye of the lion.
Being watched over. So that's my spirit animal. That's me. I'm just always being watched over in everything that I do. I have a one wing. I'm an angel.
I believe so.
Yes. I just have one because if I put the other one, I'm going to start flying higher.
Thank you so much. Time travels so quick. I mean, it's already over 30. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. The story of Mimo, I hope it inspired you, it encouraged you guys there at home, and you have learned something. As you know that this podcast, we are here to help you guys to learn from the stories of people, people with influence on social media, people who are changing lives for real, who are impacting. And the last day to our sponsor, thank you so much for making this possible. We appreciate you guys, and if you guys want to be part of the whole podcast, please comment and also just share the ideas. Who should we get to come here and we interview? I'm sure there's someone that you'd like to come here and hear from their story and to learn from them. Please hit those comments, I'll read the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and like. As usual, this podcast is for you, and NoChill Podcast is the only podcast in Africa where brilliance meets entertainment. I'm out. Thank you so much.